Hello! Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For this week, I am going to use the Thelema deck by Renata Lechner, I want to say. Where's your name? Is it Renata Lechner? I thought it was Renata Lechner. Yep, Renata Lechner, sorry. I knew it was there somewhere. And then the website is here at the bottom, loscarebo.com. Focus, camera, focus. Hopefully it's focusing. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you're interested in that information. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and there's the hayhouse.com website at the bottom. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you are interested. Last but not least, I do use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element. And they are from the Dice Shop. The website is mathartfun.com. Hopefully you can see that. All right. And, of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And now, let's go on to your reading. Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aquarius? Four of Swords came out right in the beginning, which is a healing card, and the World right behind it. So, it looks like a good start. Okay. It looks pretty good. Is your serenity in question? That's enough. Okay, so I kind of get the feeling that you've been comfortable holding back for a while in whatever this subject is. I feel like you've been very self-sufficient. I mean, Aquarius, in my opinion, tends to be self-sufficient anyway, but like, I feel like I've kind of ostracized myself from other people in some way. Whatever category, could be work, could be family, could be friends. Maybe there's friends that you like, but for a while you've kind of just stayed away. Could be one of those things. I feel like you've been more sufficient on your own. I feel like I've just taken a break. Maybe it's a connection with people from the past. Maybe some of you have moved away from where you used to live and used to have really good connections, and because you moved away, you haven't connected with certain people. It could be reconnecting with certain people. That's what this could be about. All right, so when I get that World card coming in, there's a whole new phase coming in, which could be that like there's people from the past that you used to see a lot more or used to connect with a lot more, and maybe they're coming back in. I do get a friendly energy with this. I get that I'm very happy to be around them, so it could be a familiar energy for you or just something here that you like. It's a shift though. It's like something was not here and now it is here. So it's a shift like this. Like that was not here, now it is. It's like I feel like I'm returning to a certain type of way of doing things. Could be a person returning from the past, or could be a way of returning, like something you used to do or something you wanted to do, something like that. Because I get a lot of healing for you with the World coming in. I want to kind of update that a little bit. With one of the reasons you haven't done this is because it rarely goes the way you want it to. I feel like as it's coming in, you've learned a lot. Okay, so what do we mean? So maybe you've had connections with certain people, and it rarely or hardly ever or maybe never has gone the way you really wanted it to. You have taken some time away from this situation. You've learned a lot. You've advanced. You've put in a lot of mental activity on this situation. Some of you might have looked up things and read books or watched some shows. You learned some things. It reminds me of watching Katie Morton on YouTube. She has a lot of good information, and a lot of times she'll give you books to read if you want to, and you can advance your knowledge on certain subjects. You know what I mean? So I do feel like you've put in the work and you've learned a lot. You've put in a lot of work to this. And you are very self-sufficient. This isn't a situation that you need, but I do feel like with it coming back, at the same time, I feel like I'm not walking away from it. I'm kind of like, well, I've done a lot of work here. Let me see what I can do with it. I kind of feel that. I'm kind of like half-heartedly kind of like, I know different things than I did before. Let me see what I can do with it. I know what I wanted the past to be. I'm seeing if I can make the future better. These two together makes me feel like I know what the past was, and I want to see if I can do it better this time. We all grow. That's the point of life. No matter who you are, we all grow. We all do. We learn things. We handle things differently. A lot of times we learn about ourselves. A lot of times we learn about how other people are too. I feel like that's equal. It's not just about us and who we are, but we start to learn like how people really are and how people, I thought that was okay. Turns out that was a red flag. I thought that was okay. Turns out that wasn't so good either. I thought that was okay. While it's not bad, it's not for me. Sometimes we learn that those are hard lessons too. I feel like that's a hard one too. When we look back and we're like, you know what? That wasn't a bad thing, but it definitely didn't fit my life. Sometimes that's hard. And you've learned these things. So I do feel like you're giving this a shot. A lot of positive energy here from you. And you are putting in best effort. Kind of like if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. You seem to have that attitude. If I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. You got this also here, this Ace of Wands. All right, if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. There's no point in doing it halfway. If I'm going to really give this a shot and see if I can really handle it this time the way I want it to be handled, then let's do it. I'm going to see if I can do this. I think I've learned a lot. Let's see what I can do. I want to know. Okay, so you're going forward with something. That energy meets you halfway, whatever it is. It could be a person or a situation, whatever it is. It meets you halfway. You're welcomed into this, but there's a lot where you definitely don't have total control over this as you get involved in it, and that's a piece of it. Can you find out information? Yes. Can you utilize information to its fullest? Most likely. But, if for example, if it's a plot of land on top of a hill and it's very rocky, there's only so much you can do with it within financial means, if you follow me. If you're going up a hill and it's very rocky, there's only so much you can do with that. You know what I mean? You know how to handle it. You know what to be prepared for. You know how to get where you're going to go, blah, 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 blah. You know how to make the greatest advantages with it, most likely. But situation still is what the situation is. Okay. I don't think that's bad. But I also see you're going to move forward, but you're also going to have these self-doubts. I find this next part very interesting. Next part very interesting. You're going to move forward. You're going to have some self-doubts. The advice to don't do this, is to try not to look out for everybody involved. You're establishing yourself here. This isn't the time for you to look out for everybody around you. They're saying don't do the Empress thing. Don't get caught up in the gender. But when I see this, the Empress takes care of themselves and looks out for everybody around them and just make sure everybody looks out for them as much as they do other people. They're saying don't do this. You're establishing yourself in this situation. You're getting your roots into this situation. It's too early to do that. I understand where some of you kind of want to make a good impression and you want to show that you're not here just for yourself, that you're here to work with other people, and you want to show that, when people are good to you, you're good to them. I understand you want to set that tone, but they're saying for this situation, don't do this in the beginning. In the beginning, establish your situation, do what's best for your situation. I'm not saying take advantage of other people, not like that, but like stabilize what you need. Make sure you have what you need first. You're establishing yourself here, whatever this is. Sometimes you're going to see things you don't like. They're saying kind of play a poker hand with that. Play a poker hand with that and see how things wash out in the laundry. You know what I mean? Let things wash out in the long term. that's another thing I feel like where they're saying don't do this right now, or you're looking out for yourself and others. Not just yet. Look out for just yourself in the beginning. Establish what's going on here. Don't get involved in other people's squabbles if there's anything going on like that. Because it's kind of like step back, just watch how it plays out. Learn how these people really are. Give it at least good to 3 to 5 months. Anywhere from 3 to 5 months is probably all you'll need. You'll learn a lot. Don't get involved in people's squabbles. I don't think you really want to anyway, but certain things may seem like they're grossly unfair, but there may be more things going on here. It reminds me of the Hatfields and McCoys. I want to say that was a famous Family Feud. And they were I feel like one would kill a family member of the McCoys, and then the Hatfields would go, get somebody murdered on their side, and it would go back and forth. It was just like, it went on for years, from what I'm understanding. I don't know a lot about it, just to be fair. But it's kind of like if you get in the middle of that, who knows who's ahead and who's behind, but it's not something you probably want to get involved in. That's the point. So if you hold back and just establish your own roots, you'll see it. You'll see that picture. It's just it's not easy to see in the beginning. It takes some time to really come forward. If you're able to do that version of it, where you just kind of hold back and like, I don't know what's going on with these people. It seems like Aquarius would kind of do that anyway, but I don't know. However this situation is coming forward, they're saying this is the advice to go that way. For some of you, maybe it's just, giving you the confidence to know that is the good way to do it, that is the better way to do it. Because I get like you skirt around the Ten of Swords because it's half in, half out, and you got the Moon card going half in, half out the other way. By holding back and watching and seeing who people really are, it's kind of like, if I get involved too early, I feel like I align with the wrong people and I alienate the people I needed to be next to. And that becomes a problem. If I hold back, I'm like, okay, these people embraced me in the beginning, but they're actually the problem. Because I held back, I don't have to be overly connected with them. And also, the good people aren't angry with me because I didn't get involved in stuff. Even though these people, the problematic people, were very inviting and very nice in the beginning, I'm glad I didn't align myself with them. But I feel like the problematic people are very inviting and very helpful, but they're problematic people. Because when you get to the other side of this, you'd rather be linked in with the people who are very good, the people that you like, not the problematic people. And I feel like that's what they're saying you're heading for. And I feel like they're kind of trying to give you this heads up thing, because I can understand if people are good to you, you want to be good to them back, and it makes sense. But they're like, you're new to this situation. Hold back, even though they're good for you or good to you. Pay them back in a way that's like non-committal. Do nice things, show appreciation, but don't get involved in their personal issues, whatever that is. Give it like 3 to 5 months, because otherwise you may end up being like, even though you're like, well, I'm not really associated with them anymore, but people are going to treat you as if you are. It might be one of those things, kind of like, yeah, well, I mean, I feel like you know what I mean. It's kind of like, once a Hatfield, always a Hatfield, and you're like, well, wait a minute, I'm not a Hatfield. I'm not really a McCoy either, but thanks. I'm part of the Johnsons over there. Whatever. I do feel it, because it's all about how you establish yourself in the long term. That's going to make this a success if you're able to link yourself up to whoever you feel the good people are. Because I feel like once the good people are alienated, I feel like they only see you one way, and I feel like that's hard. I do feel like it's kind of like that. Once they feel like, oh, you're a part of that group, nope, that's how we keep this side good. We don't let that over here. So you were over there for a while, and you can just stay over there. I feel like it's kind of like that. So to get past that, this is what this is about. Anything else I need to say about that? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.